A buyer plans and selects ranges to go into the stores and in conjunction with the merchandiser who works on the budgets, plans the budgets. They work very closely together. A buyer doesn't really just sit at a fashion show and say, I'll have 2 of those and 4 of those. A buyer is much more practical. As I say, in planning and selecting the ranges, looking at what sold last year, what are core lines and what are fashion items. A merchandiser works at planning the budgets, at liaising with the buyer to find out what is selling well, collating the week's sales, and deciding on the ranges for next season. That visual merchandising is completely different to head office merchandising, which this course is about. Visual merchandising is all about laying out the stores, doing the windows, putting the product in the stores, whereas merchandising is, as I've said, is about planning the budgets and working with the buyers to make sure that they have the best range at the best price, that they have the best product quality going into the stores. Everybody wants to be a buyer, but industry have told us that really there is huge opportunity for merchandisers in the industry. So we really want to push that, that we don't really just want buyers or students wanting to be buyers on the course. It's very much split 50-50. It's about buying and merchandising. It's completely equal. Although we also look at different subjects such as marketing, such as product development, it really is a very niche course focused on buying and merchandising in the industry. The difference between the first year and the second year of the course is that the first year is very much an introduction into the roles of a buyer, the roles of a merchandiser, who they liaise with, how ranges are put together and developed, and there's also introduction to undergraduate study, so it's actually how to be a student at LCF. Whereas the second year is much more vocational in content. It's got industry projects. Students go out in term 2 to do work-based learning, which means that they have to find themselves an opportunity to go out into the workplace and actually do a 1-month placement in term 2. And then again in the third term, they're really looking about pulling all the knowledge that they've learnt so far into doing an actual business plan, which is a great opportunity. Potential students that aren't afraid of the numbers, but are also creative individuals that have that background of maybe having some work-based learning already, even if in a shop, in a fashion retail outlet. That's absolutely fine, and that's a really good thing to have. And we're looking for students who, again, are probably not afraid to take on new challenges and take on the challenges with enthusiasm and are open-minded about how to problem solve. Things like we're really interested in making sure that they're good team players, because that's definitely what they'll need to be in industry. Applicants are invited for an interview, and first of all they have a numerical test, and if they are successful in the numerical test, then they will be invited back for a group interview. And the group interview, we ask the students to introduce themselves, and then we also ask them to do a mood board of the key trends in the high street, so that they can talk through that mood board, and it allows students to relax and open up about themselves really. We ask questions such as, why do you want to come on this course? What do you think you could bring to this course? Maybe what books you're reading, what brands are doing well on the high street, what brands aren't doing very well on the high street, and why. So there's different questions that can show the applicants' knowledge really, and why they're potentially right for the course. You won't have to do an exam on the course, but you will have to hand in your assignments, your reports, your essays at the end of each term. And then if you go on to top up, if you decide that you want to top up the FDA degree into a BA honours degree, again, you wouldn't have to do any exams, but you would have to do a 10 to 12,000 word dissertation. So it's quite a different experience in the top up than it is to what experience the student gets on the FDA course. We really try to embed skills into the course because it's so vocational. So for example, Photoshop, Illustrator, making sure that you can do a good PowerPoint presentation, that you can use an Excel spreadsheet. So it's really important that those skills are embedded into the course so that when students leave the course, they can take those skills with them into the workplace. Students are asked to bring their work in and to have constructive criticism from that work by the lecturers. And this especially happens a lot in year 2 because it's about the students being able to show us really what they know, and it really brings in that real sort of industry experience into the classroom in terms of they can talk through their range, why they've chosen that price, why that margin, etc. So they're really talking to us in a very focused and industrial type of way. All of the course lecturers are from industry, so they really bring that kind of industry background into the classroom, so they make all the teaching sessions really real, if you like, by bringing that experience in a combination of formal lectures, crits, seminars, and presentation that we do, especially in year 1. We like the students to present, to get used to presenting, because that's a very important part of the buying job. So to present in front of people their ideas, etc. I think the projects are the greatest selling point of our course, and it's something that really brings the course to life as well. In the first year, the students go in clear and sequential stages through planning a range. So for example, in term 2 of year 1, they actually product develop and put together a range of garments based on 2 garments bought from a charity shop. So they can think about the key trends and how that will do it. So they also do the merchandising for that. So they'll do the numbers, how much they expect to sell, how much they're going to buy it for, sell it for, the margin, the key performance indicators for the range, and so they actually do practical putting a range together, but only on 2 garments. And then for the 3rd term project in the first year, the students work on doing a fair trade range capsule collection, which again was amazing last year, worked really, really well. And so it brings together putting a capsule collection, and it shows students how to put collections together. And then in year 2, the projects are really applied. So we have an industry project in term 1 of year 2. The first industry project that we did was with Per Una, and we actually went to their offices, which were in the Cotswolds, and the students actually had to present to buyers their ideas for a range of garments, and they were absolutely scared stiff and petrified, but they did really, really great work. And because it's an industry project, students get quite competitive about what their ideas and keeping hold of their ideas, etc. This year we've developed a project with Ted Baker. We had Catherine Scory, who's a women's wear director of Ted Baker, come in to brief the project to the students, and the students have to put together a collection of swimwear both for men and women. So again, and it's just an amazing project for the students to work on, and the prize is to work with Catherine. The winning student will be Catherine's apprentice. So in their work experience in their term 2, the winning students will have the opportunity to work with Catherine in planning and developing ranges.